Hi everyone, this is WhiteHawke, and today, well, if some of you listen really carefully, here I'm gonna give you guys 3 seconds. It's always been regular battles. Yeah, you can hear me. That's my live commentary of this original video from quite a while ago, back when I was still airing. What I was doing is I was starting a series of me trying to get to S plus using only the E leader, whichever variant. The problem is for this first video, I kind of screwed up the commentary, and it sounds like I'm underwater. So even though I'm probably gonna maybe keep some of it in, I'm actually commenting over it because I don't want you guys to listen to me speaking as if I was in underwater. I think I screwed it up because I used the noise reduction tool on, like, I copied the actual file itself, all the sound, and used the noise reduction tool on it, which made me sound underwater. I think that's why it screwed it up. Anyway, that's as I said. What I'm trying to do here is reach S plus using only the custom, well, not the custom, not just a custom E leader, just the E leader in general. And it's it's not exactly what I call a great idea. Depending on the maps, you probably want to switch up your weapon, maybe. Of course, I'm really talented, so I actually managed to get fairly far ahead using only the E leader. But at some point, I'm gonna spoil it right now, I don't reach S+. I just don't. It's... I'm gonna explain why in a few videos when I get to S. It's probably gonna happen in video 3, which will probably be the last video. For now, let's just enjoy me getting extremely lucky to reach A+, because I did feel I got really lucky reaching A+. All the games, all the teams I got were really good. Yeah, so the first few players, occasionally you might face an S player, maybe even an S+, but for the most part, you're going to be facing other A players, A minus and A plus. I think if you're like low on points, you're more likely to face players below your rank. While if you're higher, you're likelier to play players that are above your rank. Maybe. That's definitely what it feels like when I reached S. Basically, let's just say I got to the low amounts of points really quickly, and it made me face some A+ players, and that's really terrible when you're in S because you only gain 3 points, but you lose. Oh, geez, I really screwed up in the beginning there. I was not supposed to get close at all. If you're an S rank player and you lose against A+ players, let's just say you lose, let's see how many points, 7 points, which is a lot because you only gain 3. But that's for later. I shouldn't be talking about that right now. It's a bit difficult to comment on stuff that I played a long time ago, especially because I can't really hear anything that's happening. I was definitely a bit rusty when I started this, by the way, because it's been such a long time since I played ranked, and I took a break after I was done with this series of videos, so I'm still kind of rusty a bit. Anyway, how you should play tower control. When the enemy gets the tower, you should be getting them off the tower, and if you must, try to get on the tower yourself. Although it's definitely not a good idea unless I have the Kraken ready for me to get on the tower, because I'm a charger. I'm not meant to do it that way. Anyway, I have control of the tower here, and what I'm doing is I'm placing squid beacons all around it because they serve as defense. And here I activate the Kraken to try to splat some of my foes. It works on one, but doesn't work on the other. One of the actually most overpowered things about some weapons in tower control is bubbler, because if the opponents get, or if whatever team takes control of the tower and reaches the halfway point, if 2 or more players have a bubbler ready, they basically won. That team has basically won already. So fortunately, it's a good thing that we managed to wrestle control back of the tower to us, because of that we managed to avoid a complete knockout because of the bubbler. Because Kelp Dome tower control Bubbler feels really, really good. That and Splash Wall. I guess I'll do some tips on ranked modes. Probably using the footage of these videos, actually. Particularly for tower control and Rainmaker. Not Splat Zones. I don't think I have enough footage for that. And I was playing with a charger. Splat Zones with a charger. I don't recommend that at all. I recommend either a roller or... not sure. A roller sounds good, actually. Loading this second match took us such a long time. Jeez. Anyway. Right, the tower control on this map. That was a first for me because I had never played ranked on this map of all things. I usually head to the right, but because I spawn on the left, I head towards the left. One of the things I try to do here for a bit is create some shortcuts to go up the buildings, because that seems like something that would be very, very useful. I don't do a good job avoiding getting hit, but that's normal because I was not at the center of the action. And that was a bad move for me to do right there because I was not aware that there were opponents up there. And of course we all got splatted. That's something that's really distressing when you start a match. When your team is the one that gets almost completely wiped out. That's so bothersome. Yeah, another charger. When you see that the enemy took the tower, that means you need to immediately go to it and make sure you get them off. It's important. Get on the tower, get them off the tower, whatever you have to do to get them off, because the longer they stay on the tower, the farther they get, and the easier it is for them to win. Anyway, I managed to get them off right there. I don't just jump on the tower because there's an enemy charger, and goodness knows I hate when that happens. Fortunately, we managed to get her off. And when you're traveling through paths that involve either bringing the tower back to the center or traveling stuff you already went through, the tower goes much faster. And yes, the Kraken is excellent for tower control, but not as good as the Bubbler, I'd say. Squid beacons. I'm not positive they completely block hits. I think charger shots will actually break through. I could be wrong though. And .96 gal decos, you can expect that all the freaking time when you're playing on ranked. All the freaking time. I really just test that, to be honest, because it's a really good combination. The weapon itself hits far, splats in 2 hits. It has Splash Wall. I think it has Splash Wall. I could be wrong. And it has the Kraken. That's amazing for whatever modes. Any mode. And that kind of bothers me because I feel that's something that needs a nerf. Bye. Yep, bye. Unfortunately, they detect me, but I actually get lucky here. I managed to splat them. It's something that's really risky considering I'm a charger, especially a knee leader, no less. But I did manage to pull it off. I'm actually really scared of enemy chargers, because charger against charger, it's whoever hits first wins. And here, I use this trick. Just squid jump into place. Yeah, you get do that kind of mind game. It's something you can do, but it's not exactly guaranteed to win the game for you. I activated Kraken a bit too early here, by the way. Even so, I managed to win. You can also, I never really managed to show that really well, but one of the things you can do if you're in immense danger when on the tower is try to squid form onto the sides under the center and hope that your enemy doesn't realize you're still there. But it hasn't exactly ever worked out for me, so I could be wrong about using that strategy. Alright, back to Kelp Dome. I don't like Kelp Dome. I'm trying to repeat what my older live commentary self is saying right now, but it's really hard to hear because I have the volume excessively low. I probably should have raised it a bit, but Anyway, this time I go right because I feel it's better for a charger like me, because the first time on Kelp Dome I just completely screwed up. I try to splat foes that are trying to find good position. I completely screw up here though, using up all my ink real quick. And carbon rollers are something you're going to see quite commonly while playing tower control. And I managed to play well enough for the beginning here. Got really close to being splatted several times though. And here's an aggravating thing, by the way. When you're on the tower with your allies and they decide that you're the one who needs to stick around on the tower. And I got off the tower right here because it was a much safer thing to do. Yeah, sometimes don't even bother trying to stay on the tower. Just get off it. Get some distance, splat the foes, and get off it. Or rather, get back on it. If you stay off it or the opponents jump on it, it's obviously gonna go back to the center or towards their goal point. But as long as you're not splatted, that gives you the opportunity to prevent them from doing that. When you're on a tower, you're a sitting duck. Roughly, anyway. And I got tricked right there. Dual squelchers. That's decently common. Dual squelchers. I see them every now and then. I personally prefer the jet squelcher though. It just feels more... I don't know, it has splash wall. An ink strike is not exactly appropriate for tower control, but it can be used if you aim well as a defensive thing. That's what I did once. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording the match. It has been a long time since I've used the jet squelcher for anything, to be honest. I try to splat the roller right there, but I keep missing. And I got splatted. Not right now, we have the massive advantage. That's something I will say really, really often when I get to S rank. And it bites me in the ass so many times. I don't believe it ever bites me in the ass when I try to reach for A+ though. Actually, part of the reason why I started this series, me getting to S rank, is because I wanted to call this series the frustration of trying to reach S rank as a charger. And there's no real frustration for the beginning here, but it definitely begins once I reach A+. But that's mostly because I'm playing splat zones. Tower control with a charger, that's something you can do. You have to be really good though, because on ranked, players are playing to win. Well, you might see trolls on occasion, but your players are going to be playing to win, and they're going to be good at it. Usually. And I don't know, I really hate when I get splatted out of nowhere. Usually because of lag. Super jump back to the tower here. Stay on the tower. And I shoot airware even though there's not much point for it, because that builds up my meter, which is important. Because if I get the Kraken, that's 8 seconds of invincibility. Very useful. And I'm being a bit overconfident here, but we had this match in the bag. Like, all the opponents except one are splatted here. And he failed at stopping me. So I'm pretty sure I've only been getting lucky right now. Having teams that have and here I'm basically saying that I'm getting lucky with my teams, and that might be true. Because I remember in B+, A-, hell, I got really, really unlucky with teams very often. For the most part. I never dropped a rank though. Even when I reached S, I never managed to drop back to A+. Even though I got a bit close. And at the end, I'm roughly in the 30s as an S rank. So I'm not that close to reaching S+. The highest I ever get to S+, or as close as I can get to it, is 60 points. Which is pretty good, I guess, considering you only gain 5 or even 4 points every win. and you do pretty much always lose 5 points when you lose. Back to this map. I think this might be a really good match. I'm not sure. There was a match I really liked when I tried tower control. There's at least 3, maybe 4 matches left for me to do before I reach A+. Kind of bothersome, to be honest, because I don't have that much to talk about. Fortunately, the commentary of the other videos has not been turned into sounding like I'm underwater. The problem is the commentary of the other videos is me at a much more frustrated level. I mean, there are some people that complain about my this is why Splatoon has no voice chat series not really representing how aggressive some players can be, let's say. Let's just say that in the second video, I go full angry German kid. Yeah, let's use that term. And when I'm in S trying to reach S+, oh, you guys have no idea. Just constantly blaming all my partners continuously losing. Although I did have a recent complaint concerning lots of my trying to get on the tower here while one of my opponents is still on it. Yeah, charge for my Kraken. That's what I should have done. You have to tank really fast when you're playing on ranked. Specials are incredibly important in that they can really easily turn the match around. Chew. These players are really good, but not that great. My worst fear of any match period is the Inkzuka, because it matches the reach of the E-liter 3K scoped, whatever the name is. And if it's laggy, it's gonna hit you, no matter how hard you try. And here I missed my chance to get on the tower, and then I screw up not getting back on it immediately. And here, yep, time to get off, because I saw the flash of light that showed that one of my opponents had their special ready. And it was a custom jet sculpture. I can respect someone who uses that weapon. Yeah, my allies here just super jump straight to the tower. Not a good idea when the opponents are already on it. Because unless you have the squid stealth jump, you're just gonna get displayed. And here I splat the foe, but at the cost of getting splatted myself because of an ink mine. Ink mines are pretty good for putting on the tower. But there's not many weapons that use an ink mine, which kind of bothers me. I guess the Splatoon development team considers it to be an overpowered weapon, maybe? Although I don't consider it to be overpowered at all. I will admit, while playing ranked, I felt at many times that I was actually lagging. Because there's lots of players who kept missing me. And I would miss my opponents as well, but that doesn't become apparent until I reach S, to be honest. Basically, the way I would say it is that A to A+, I was lucky with my teams and my wins. A+, I had to struggle a bit because I kept getting bad teams every now and then or something like that. And when I reached S, I kept hitting really laggy matches with, even though I was able to overcome for the most part every now and then, I couldn't like get to S+ because you have to win so many more matches when you reach S if you want to get to S+. And here I'm facing a pretty crafty player, just going straight into our base. Oh geez, and the Inkzuka. Fortunately, my ally took care of that foe. Yes, come on. Here I am building my meter because I want the Kraken ready. There's not many places for me to do anything though. He keeps saying come on, which is not a bad thing, because it's just that I need my Kraken ready, and here I am with it. And then I get pushed off almost right away. Fortunately, I can make use of my Kraken to splat the foes, which I did. Unfortunately, it took the tower. Fortunately, we managed to splat the foe, and my ally almost got splatted, but didn't quite get splatted. Don't know how you managed to survive that, and everyone gets back on the tower, but gets splatted in the process. Fortunately, the match is going into overtime, and as long as we manage to splat the foes off of it, that's our win. Oh my goodness, that becomes so aggravating. S rank. I keep referring back to my S rank experiences because of how frustrating they were. Because part of the issue here is that in S rank, players are playing to win and my allies weren't. Like this. so basically what happens, one of the players got on the tower and they weren't on it or they got splatted, so that immediately gave it back to us. Yeah, so basically what happened is that I wasn't personally responsible for the win there, but either the opponents got off the tower, got splatted off of it, or one of my allies got on it, or they stay off of it for more than 5 seconds. That's how you lose overtime comeback time. Yeah. Although you level up faster when playing in ranked, I'm still not even level 40. Just want to say that right there. You guys see my rank right here? Level 36? I'm still not even level 40. And going from level 40 to level 50 apparently takes even longer than going from level 20 to level 40. I think. I might have misheard that for like instead level 30 to level 40. But it's pretty crazy how long it takes to get to level 50 now. And yet some players still manage to get to it already. They must play like 16 hours a day or even 20 hours a day to get that to level 50 that fast. Jeez. Anyway, this map again, tower control. And I think this one's the map where I got almost frustrated. Maybe. Because there was one map where I got really, really upset. Actually, this might be my last map. No, actually, no, it isn't at all. Because I'm looking at the video time right now, and I thought, nah, this is my last map, but no, it's not quite that. Yeah, as a charger, standing on that spot I was right there is not a bad idea, at least for a knee leader, because you have lots of range, you have a full view of the tower. The only way your opponents can't get splatted is if they stay perfectly behind the thing, although even that doesn't protect them completely, I believe. And I almost didn't have the Kraken ready there. And here I get continuously pushed back, which really bothers me, but I have to deal. That's a nerf the Kraken needed. Oh yeah, actually, this is definitely it. This is the match I got intensely frustrated on. I can feel it! Well, it's either this or the next one. I said if there's too many players on the tower, we have to get off. That's not necessarily true, but as a charger, it's probably a wiser idea. Taking the lead. Having the lead is important in ranked. And here I get completely screwed by a dynamo. I don't get splatted though. Try to splat the dynamo, or at least keep him distracted. One of the things you can do in ranked is if an opponent is really trying to splat you, but you're not like doing anything for the objective, just keep them distracted. There's no reason for you to get splatted or anything, just keep them distracted. And here I succeeded in using my Kraken. Good thing too. That player's using a dynamo. I don't know how effective dynamos really are. The dynamos are really, really effective, especially the gold one. They're really, really effective when you're on splat zones. On tower control, I'm not sure. I think a carbon roller or crack-on splat roller would be better. Actually, even the basic splat roller would be good. Because killer whale on some maps with tower control can be really, really good when positioned well. Although killer whale I've seen is also incredibly useful on Rainmaker of all things. One of the few matches I played against someone on Rainmaker that I liked, even though I lost it, was against a bunch of players who knew how to use the killer whale on that map. But that's for much later, when I get to S rank, honestly. Yes, get splatted, even though there's still a dynamo player. But fortunately, yeah, that's part of the problems with dynamo players. it's hard to aim. Try to splat the foe. I missed. And here I try to use this mind the game again. It doesn't exactly work well. And I screw up climbing back into the tower. Climbing back into the tower is a bit difficult though, because it's constantly moving, and that's something that's a bit unusual when you're playing Splatoon multiplayer anyway. Hell, even in single player it doesn't happen very often. At this point we could play defensive and probably win, which is I think is what I'm gonna try to do for the most part. Because when you're playing defensive, you can basically not get splatted and build up your special meter. And that player who keeps throwing burst bombs at me, he throws really, really far. It's impressive. Also, the enemy is using echolocator. I've seen some players suggest that cold-blooded is not a bad idea on ranked. I am not sure if I agree with that. And I have the Kraken ready. They get splatted. Dark Link again. Yeah. Another thing about rank, you're gonna get splatted very often. Quick respawn is never a bad choice, especially if you're a roller, because you're gonna get splatted very often when you're a roller. And that player really wants to splat me with his burst bombs. Jeez. I just ignore him. Just distract him. Match is almost over anyway. And that player was out of ink, but still managed to splat me because they only need a little bit of ink to splat someone. And they always have a little bit of ink available when they try to attack with the Dynamo Roller. Anyway, the opponents are going all out here. And this is where I get concerned. And get splatted. Yes, thank you. They managed to get them off the tower. That's something my S-rank allies don't do very often. Especially on overtime. And Japan was in Splatfest week, apparently, back then. I think it was 2 weeks ago that I did this footage. Took me a while to get off my lazy back and get around to finally commentating it again, because I was never really feeling it. To do post commentary on a video I did live commentary on. It feels weird to talk over myself. Actually, that's probably why I have the volume so low, because I want to pretend that's not really my voice that's speaking right now. I'm not even sure if I'm actually going to raise any of it. Also, notice how much money I have right now. Over 100,000 already. You gain when you're high rank, you gain a lot more cash much faster. But you don't gain anything when you're losing, which is not something that happens to me at all in this video. There's only one match left, and I think it's the one. I think this is the one where I almost lose in the beginning, but then make a good comeback. It has to be. This is the last match. Although I guess I could be remembering something wrong. Except not really. No, it happened on Flounder Heights, if I said that right, on Tower Control, and it doesn't really get back into rotation that way ever, and for until like 3 months from now. I actually did this whole thing. Another reason why I did this whole thing was because I wanted to start getting like footage of the ranked modes, because I never really did a private battle. I should probably get around to doing some stuff like that, because I do that stuff with Smash 4, and I should probably do it with this game too. But I never bothered doing it, like doing ranked for a long time, and because of that, I decided, okay, enough is enough. I'm gonna do this S rank thing I want to do, and that will let me actually start playing ranked modes again. Except I never get to S+, so there's still this nagging feeling about me doing this until I get S+. But no, I'm just saying that right now. Even though I mentioned the later videos that I'm trying to get to S+, getting to S+ with using only a charger, especially the E-Leader, it's something I could do if I specifically chose only specific maps on specific rotations. But I don't want to do that. I just want to play ranked when it's like whenever. Anyway, yeah, as some of you may have noticed here, No one's getting on the tower, which puts us at a severe disadvantage. And I got really lucky splatting the foe right there, because if they had their special ready, and it was with the bubbler or the kraken or something, we would have lost right there. Now, fortunately, we got really, really lucky here. And managed to splat the foes trying to splat us here. Because they were about to win. And they would have won, too. And guys can hear the tone of my voice. You can hear it. That I was already getting very frustrated here. But fortunately, it doesn't quite turn out that way. It always feels like it, you know. You're on the verge of a rank change. You're always gonna face the players who really, really want to win. It's like a conspiracy. They're trying to keep you from changing rank. I'm just joking, by the way. I don't really believe that, but it's what it feels like. Here, I go back on the tower with the Kraken loaded. One of the things you can do with the Kraken is eat bombs. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to catch the burst bomb there, so we lost the tower. Burst bombs are actually really, really good for this mode. And so is blasters, especially the range. Well, actually, that's the rapid blaster, but it feels like the range blaster because it is surprisingly far. Anyway, yeah. They took control of the tower several times, and we had to make sure to splat all of them to get back on the tower. And that was a pointless super jump right there. I thought I was super jumping to the tower. I obviously missed my chance. It's not like I'm supposed to be on the tower specifically anyway. And the killer whale floating in midair like that kind of bothers me, but I have to deal. That's how it works. Everyone's using their special. And here I finally demonstrate the Kraken eating the burst bomb. Can't eat the burst bombs when they're on the tower up there, though. And lots of killer whales are happening at once right now because I think someone has lots of specials up ready. And we gained the advantage right here, which is what we needed. And finally win. Yeah, so that was the match with the amazing comeback me and my team did. I think we just got lucky, though. It's possible to only gain 8 points when you're in A rank and A plus rank. Fortunately, that was not the case, which means I immediately rank up right here. Unfortunately, since the version 2.0 of Splatoon, when you change rank, which I believe what doesn't matter if you're going down or up, you have to start over. You have to go out of your room. So, no. Rank change. Join a battle to play in your new skill bracket, even though you'll face players from the previous rank and rank higher than your current one, as you are. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for video 1 of WhiteHawke trying to reach S+ using only an E leader. I think at some point I mentioned that it will only be the custom E leader. That doesn't stick. Next time, the frustration begins. I'm not gonna mince words. I get immensely frustrated. If you don't like that kind of stuff, you're gonna get pissed off at me because I say mean words very, very often. It's splat zones with a charger. What else do you expect? But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll have a very nice day. See you all next time. Possibly either the next video in this series or another tip video, I guess. Bye-bye!